Is there a capacity war brewing here?
Well, the market seems to be anticipating something along those lines, Angie. The Qantas CEO, Alan Joyce, and New Zealand's Prime Minister John Key will hold a joint press conference in Auckland in a few hours, so it suggests that something big is in the works, and the rumour is that Jetstar is going to seek to expand its operations domestically in New Zealand. And at the moment, they do have a presence, but it's a fairly small one. They fly 5 routes between some of the major centres, including Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin and Queenstown, but apart from that the field is pretty much left to Air New Zealand. Now there's not a lot of love lost between Alan Joyce and Air New Zealand, because Air New Zealand is of course a major shareholder in Virgin, which really took the fight to Qantas domestically here in Australia, so it appears that the same might be about to happen across the Tasman. Air New Zealand back in April announced they were boosting capacity. They're planning to add 650,000 seats domestically over the coming year with larger planes and increased frequency, but at the same time they've pulled back from a lot of the smaller regional routes in New Zealand, so it appears there may be a gap in the market there, Angie.
Paul, is New Zealand's domestic market big enough to support this much competition?
Well, perhaps not. It is a small country, only 4 million people. Most of those are in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch, and after that the populations drop off pretty sharply. And certainly New Zealand's aviation landscape is littered with examples of failure of companies that tried to compete with Air New Zealand domestically, like Origin Pacific, Tasman Pacific, Pacific Blue, CityJet, Ansett. Who's heard of them? They all fell by the wayside. Obviously Jetstar thinks that perhaps they can do something different to take the fight to Air New Zealand on their own turf, Angie.